It's strange what desire will make foolish people do. I'd never dream that I'd meet somebody like you. I'd never dream that I'd lose somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love. With you. What a wicked game you play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do, to let me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say, you never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do, to make me dream of you. And I don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love with you. What a wicked game you play to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do, to let me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say, you never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do, to make me dream of you. And I don't wanna fall in love with you.
Hello, welcome back to WebDM. Welcome back to Sundays, Lost Girls, Cypher System, Vampires in the 80s, all of that goodness. We're here. We're back after our mid-season break. And hi, it's really nice to see you here. She says, hurriedly opening up Twitch so that she can see you. I'm super excited. We've just been briefing, I was gonna say Susie. I've just been briefing Emma on the shenanigans that happened last week. That we will be talking about in due course. But before we get to that, quick breakdown of a few things. Firstly, shout out to Tabletop Loot, our sponsors here on WebDM. Check out all of the dice, use the code WebDM, I think it's 15? Yes. WebDM 15 on any dice on there for a discount, 15%. They're super pretty, super fun, definitely worth a look. You can also interact and support the show in a number of ways, including retweeting that live tweet. Let people know that you're enjoying watching the show, what we're about here, and also donating to affect the show. 300 bits or $3 gets these players a reroll. You assign it to the player of your choice. In a Cypher system, that's very significant. It can completely turn around what is going on. Then for $10 or 1,000 bits, you can donate a gift or a distraction. These are similar to Cyphers or GM intrusions. They just make life a little bit more interesting, a little bit more complicated, and sometimes they buy you a pet cat. Big thank you to everyone who has been supporting us so far. Also, if you enjoy anything, hit that clip button, because I love getting to go back and see when I've made a funny face, or Susie has said something really funny, or we've just eaten a friend. Good times, great oldies, here in the 80s. We are in the city of Deadfield, also known as New Vampsterdam. So if you do tweet about us, use hashtag New Vampsterdam so that we can see it and add it to our moment. I think that's everything. If you are not already, hit that follow button. If you have an Amazon Prime kicking around, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. All of that really supports us. The VODs will be on YouTube, on WebDM Plays. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello! So why don't we quickly go around who we are and who we are playing this week. No Ephemera / Anna this week, unfortunately, as she is sick, but we are looking forward to having her back with us very, very soon. Susie, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I have been looking forward to this all week. It got me through work today to continue my rampage around New Amsterdam and hopefully, this is Susie speaking, not Jess, hopefully not murder a friend. That would be nice. But hey, you know, gotta eat.
A girl has got to eat.
But yeah, so I'm playing Jess, who is the wild child vampire, I forgot.
Yes, very important. Emma, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be back here. It feels like it's been forever, because it kind of has been forever. I am playing Nay, the maybe secret communist vampire, the open secret communist vampire. And I am excited to get back into it. May wasn't there last time, but from what I hear, maybe she could have helped if she were there, but she wasn't. So
She was not. Do you remember what I messaged you about, what you were actually doing?
I will really soon when I check my messages again.
Yes, no worries. I'm sure we can always do a quick summary and figure that out between us. Lovely Lindy, how are you doing?
I'm doing super spiffy. I am ready to play Exes, the sweetheart, doesn't want to hurt anybody or eat any people vampire. She just wants to make some nice human friends, get some pets. It's a good life. Being not in the future, but a little terrifying and confusing and slightly scary. She's feeling a lot of conflicting things as she bleeds out on the living room floor. It's fine.
I mean, you make it sound like we didn't all have fun last session.
She did, but again, she's got a lot of conflicting things.
Yes. And Kiana, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Super excited to be back here with this lovely crew back in New Amsterdam and all the shenanigans we get up to there because, oh boy, we get up to shenanigans and death. Just so much of it. But I play Al, or Alice, whatever you like to call her. She's our techno vamp, I guess we could say. She's cyberpunk stuffed into a vampire. And currently she is in the shadow realm between planes without a body.
I mean, you did get to timeshare a body very briefly last
Very
session.
briefly, and then I got kicked out.
We did keep it leading to the last session, so why don't we jump in real quick to a quick summary for anyone who missed it so you know exactly what is going on. For the first half of the season, we meet our covenant of vampires, the residents of Mrs. Bartholomew's home for lost girls, somewhere in the historic heart of a city called Deadfield. The head of the household is Anna, or played by Anna, I should say. Her name is Ephemera in game. And living with Ephemera are May, Al, and Jess. Recent addition, having been broken out of an egg from the past / the future, is Exes. And Exes has been doing all she can to get to know what life is like here in 1980 something. And it's going pretty well. She has a job, she's made friends, she's learned all about burgers. And last week, or I say last week, the week before last really, last time she went to a park which still exists in the future in 2383-ish, and went to her special spot by the waterfall and encountered youths who did not want to share the spot and did their best to chase, harass and molest the vampire, unknowing of the supernatural powers that this woman possessed. Exes managed to resist beating the crap out of them, although she did make a real good punch, and ran away into the woods, getting lost because trees in this decade are very different from the trees that she's used to seeing around here. Meanwhile, back in the city, Jess had been enjoying time with a man called Mr. Fine in the lair of the Spider, a small apartment hidden away in disused subways. She was seeing strange visions of the future, the present, the past. It was hard to say, But as she escaped these visions and came back to the reality, the illusions of a fine apartment had changed to a more tragic and desolate space. Wandering through, she found a back room full of other supernaturals, outsiders. The back of the room, Darcy, her friend. Last seen when they'd been partying down on the boardwalk, having captured and consumed a werewolf. Darcy's mouth was now gnarly with great canines, and Darcy didn't seem too pleased to see Jess, attempting to flee. And when she couldn't escape, Darcy turned and used her mind powers against the vampire, turning Jess's mind into the feral state. For Cypher, we have actually made a couple of changes, combining the intellect and might pools into a blood pool, along with speed, and half of the intellect pool becomes a humanity pool. Essentially, Darcy turned Jess's humanity pool to nothing, making her maximum feral and sending her off chasing trains and people and eating grandmas and eventually surfing a bus through downtown. Meanwhile, Al had been abducted. Researching Project Greenlight in May's offices, following the leads and clues about May's boss, they had been taken by the same shadow demons that May had encountered in our very first session, and awoke in a strange and sterile and bright environment. Not entirely real, maybe. Something like the future. And a woman who spoke and told Al of what was going to come, of what was needed to be done to save the world, essentially. Al broke through the, I'm going to call it an illusion for now, for basic sake, but broke through what was going on, sending away the AI robot she had been speaking to and using a computer terminal to seek an escape. And she did find one. Thank you very much to our chat last time for sending some help there. And Al found herself in Sonny's junk shop in Chinatown, where Ephemera and Sonny were working very hard to try and bring Al back, both Al and May having been discovered to be missing, when Ephemera had rushed to the officers to speak with them about the issue of the FBI stealing the egg and a lot of research. Ephemera and Sonny give up on the attempts to summon Al back, deeming that she must be in another plane or another place, somewhere they cannot reach. Perhaps their connection just not strong enough, agreeing to go back to the house. Exes, having found her way out of the woods and back to town, hit up McDonald's. What else is a girl to do but try the finest cuisine the city can offer? And as she sat down to tuck into her burger, out the window she sees Jess, surfing on a bus. And this is where everything spiraled rapidly out of control, as Jess got it into her head to chase the vampire, because humans are too easy, and buses are buses. And so we had an across the city chase, ending in the alley behind the pet shop. Al possessing Jess in an attempt to stop her from ripping out Ixis's throat, as Ephemera watched on, helpless to intercede in the fight that was happening. Temporary control in the situation happening, Ephemera did use her blood magic to teleport them all through the mists back to the home for lost girls, where Sonny emerged and had the revelations regarding the shadow plane on which Al was stuck. Al passing on some information via Jess before giving Jess back her body. Exes lays in a bloody mess behind the sofa, and Ephemera, worn from the blood taken to summon them all back here, has retired to her room. Jess leaves. And Sonny too leaves, having made a deal that they didn't eat her in exchange for her going and getting some blood for the very hungry vampires. 30 minutes later, the door opens. And I think coming through that door, we will have May. May, you come into a rather gruesome sight in the lounge. While Exes has attempted to be as tidy as possible, there is blood seeping from a still raw wound in her throat. The sofa itself has a bloody handpin where Jess had laid down her hand during the conversation that had happened. And there is no sign of Owl, no sign of Ephemera, no sign of Jess. Just a disaster zone. Perhaps too much of a disaster even for Mr. Suds.
May will have a look on her face of just like utter surprise, but she is not going to say anything. She is going to go, I guess, through the kitchen and get a bunch of towels. And she's going to bring them to Exes.
You'd also notice that Exes' velvet dress that she got from you is covered in spray paint and dirt, and this is like ripped and torn. Yeah.
Well, May.
Oh, hi, May.
What happened to you?
A lot, but it's okay because I'm bleeding behind the couch, not in front of it, so Ephemera can't get mad. Right?
Who did this to you? Did you go out by yourself?
Well, yes. Well, first I went to the park, and there were some rude young people there, and they ruined my dress, but that was fine. I figured Miss Suds could get it out. And so then I went to get a burger, an actual one, because we've been talking about them so much and I hadn't tried any yet, so I was really curious. And that's when I saw Jess riding on top of a bus, and that didn't seem very subtle, so I thought I'd ask her about it, and then she told me to run and tried to eat me.
Eat you?
Yeah. I tried to eat her back a little bit so she would stop eating me, and it didn't work.
Where is she?
Well, Ephemera found us and brought us back here. I think we teleported or something. Like Nightcrawler in the X-Men comics, like that. And then
It's the 80s. The X-Men is so complicated. I can't keep up with it.
I know it's a lot, but
It's a whole lot.
I've only read a couple issues. And then Sonny was here, and Jess really wanted to eat Sonny, I think. But Sonny said, "Hey, I'll get you guys some blood if you don't eat me." And then Jess left. And then I thought you were Sonny bringing some blood because I'm really hungry now.
I bet
And
you are.
I don't know where Ephemera went. I kind of closed my eyes for a few minutes, and then she was gone.
Do you think so? Is Jess still trying to kill you?
No, I think Al possessed her.
Al's been Al?
Yeah.
I lost. She came to work with me and I lost her.
Well, Jess said she was in her head, I think. It's a little blue, it's a little fuzzy, but
Well, don't.
thanks for the towels. And I'll just kind of like.
She's making you up like a cold compress for your forehead. You're getting like sweet motherly May. And she's gonna say, "Don't worry about the dress. You're gonna be all right."
As long as I'm good enough for work tomorrow night. I just started. I don't want to miss a shift. I might have to wear, I saw a commercial for one, a turtleneck.
I have some of those if you need one, but you are worth much more than your shift. So don't worry so much.
Well, it's really fun, and I don't want to miss it.
That's okay. I need to find Jess.
Okay.
I think
She went out the door, and I'll point towards the front door.
The front door?
Mm-hmm.
She went out the front door.
Yeah.
She's gonna go get a bottle of vodka before she goes.
May, you would know it's probably just a couple of hours before dawn at this point. It's been a very long night for everyone here, including yourself.
But what a vampy wild child tried to murder the new baby. Oh dear. Well, she doesn't really have any way to contact Jess. She might, well, she's gonna...
There is one way that you can
Yes,
try.
May's going to go to her room. And she doesn't know if this is going to work, but she might try. Just mentally reaching out to Jess. And
So tell me, what is your frame of mind, your emotional state as you reach out to Jess, and what do you say?
She's exasperated and furious, but she's trying not to let on that that's happening. It's that sort of like when you give them the look, and it's like, I'm trying to keep me cool, but your eyes are like, gonna kill you. It's like that. And the message that she's going to give is just come home now.
All right. Why don't you make for me a roll? You can add anything asset-wise, or let me know rather if you have any assets to do with psychic powers.
I don't have anything like that. I have like persuasiveness. But
Okay,
that's
I will bear that in mind, but I don't think it's going to affect the difficulty of the roll.
right.
I'm not going to let you know the level that you're aiming for.
Okay.
It will be up to you if you want to spend blood points to enhance your powers here.
Okay. I have to make all of my character stuff bigger because I'm old and blind. Just saying.
It's just blind. I feel you.
I'm profoundly, like, just a touch above legally blind. No, I've got nothing like psychic.
All right, I will bear in mind your persuasion. You're welcome to spend blood points. And for I will say for every 2 blood points you spend, you can add, I'm gonna say 1 to your roll.
What's the difficulty of it?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh, it's a secret.
It's a secret, so it's up to you how much you feel May would put into this effort.
Oh, probably a lot. Like she's riding on buses and murdering allies in public. Yeah, she's gonna put 4 into that.
So. Alright, so that will increase your roll by basically a +2.
Okay. So you want me to like just roll it and tell you what I got?
Roll a d20 and then add 2 to it.
Okay. 16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
Is that including the +2?
Yes.
Good to know. Al, what are you up to?
So Al has been in limbo as she's watched people leave, and she can't interact with the real world. So she's just like, well, shit, I can't help Exes because she's bleeding out. And so probably even before May got back, Al probably started to head out, having been told that she should look for a door or a walker or something that allows travel between the planes. So she's probably walking around, and I think she's keeping an eye out for that lovely shadow demon that came with her the first time that she showed up back into the real world.
Okay. Why don't you make for me some sort of perception check? Do you have anything relating to perception?
And let me check. It's been a while since I've had Al's character sheet open. No. I do not, so.
Okay.
I will just make a roll. That's a 13.
Okay, so as you wander around attempting to find a door, a walker, or a passenger, or a shadow demon, you find the city is slowly waking up. You see the first of the commuters coming down from their houses and apartments and going to their cars. You see the traffic slowly picking up. You see your friend Sonny coming back towards the house. In her arm, a large, one of those like plasticky picnic basket type situations, the kind with the foil inside, the keep cool hamper type situations. And she appears very nervous. And for the briefest of moments, you see behind her what appears to be an older Asian lady with kind of a green fuzz around her, like white noise static, but it's green.
Interesting. I think I'm gonna walk over to Sonny and again, even though I've done this several times over the night, see if she sees me.
Okay, as you walk to, do you walk beside her or in front of her?
Kind of like that diagonally.
Mm-hmm. So as you walk into what should be her field of view and become closer, she shows no sign of recognizing your presence.
Let out a bit of a defeated sigh. Do I feel affected at all by the incoming sunrise?
As you consider this, you strangely don't. You don't feel that weariness, that heaviness that comes as the sun rises, that drawing of yourself towards the earth, towards rest. You feel strangely numb, if anything.
That's weird. I haven't not felt that in several decades. It would be about 60 years. And so I was just like, oh, this is weird. As if this whole night hasn't been weird for her anyways. I think she's just going to escort Sonny to the house. And just make sure that none of her friends tried to eat Sonny.
Which is a very real worry, considering how hungry the vampires are at the house.
I'm also very... Actually, do I feel hungry?
You feel... To start with, you want to call it hunger. You want to call it hunger, but it's emptiness. It's unfulfilledness. It's hollow. It's almost as if you've gone past being hungry to that point where you know you should eat, but you're not really hungry anymore, and you just have that empty, low energy feeling. But you don't feel low energy as if you were tired.
If that's weird. So, yep, just gonna try to ignore that.
Okay. And you go back with Sonny to the house, and she comes straight up those stairs and into the door. And there you hear the door open fairly abruptly downstairs. And Exes, you will hear this too, and Sonny comes back through into the living room, and she kneels beside you.
Hi!
I brought some. Hold on. And she unzips the cooler, pulls out. What are transfusion bags?
Exes's eyes light up. She's like, this is the first thing I've seen that looks like what I'm used to drinking.
I could only get 2. And she...
Okay, thank you. And I'll just, like a straw, just...
Yeah, it's kind of got one of those like little insert tubes already attached. You just need to kind of poke it through. And you happily drink away. And you can roll 1d6 to regain some blood points.
Ooh! A 5. Not bad. I'll take it.
And Sonny kind of glances around. Have you heard from Owl? Where is everyone?
Well, May came home and I told her what happened, and she seemed upset. I don't know where Ephemera went because I kind of closed my eyes for a few minutes, and then when I opened them, she was gone, and then Jess hasn't been back, and I haven't heard anything from Ow, which is a little worrisome.
Well, if it's okay with you, I want to go back down to the basement and keep trying.
Okay, I'll be here until I feel just a little bit better, and then I'm gonna go in a dark room because it's almost done.
And she goes through to the kitchen, down the hatch, and into the basement, past the freezer, and into Owl's room. Owl, what do? You followed Sonny into the building.
So after watching nervously this interaction, I was gonna float down to the basement.
You find as you think about going to the basement, it's almost as if you blink and you just down to the bottom of the stairs into your room. You don't need to move as you normally would move.
Great. This would be cool any other time, except when I'm stuck. Yeah.
And you see down in the basement, all of your electronics have been turned on. Your plug sockets are overloaded, where Sonny has just plugged in everything she can find that is yours. And the room is humming and slightly buzzing as electric isn't, skipping over connections. Would you like to describe your room as all of your electronics are on? What are the stranger items and what are the more familiar ones?
So there is what looks like to be a computer terminal. Would be something that'd be familiar to our eyes. That's set in the center of several tables filled with electronics of all kinds. There's one that looks like some form of maybe a scanner, a kind of X-ray-ish device. And there's another one that seems to be holding a bunch of vials and lighting them up in different colors. And you can see whatever liquid is in those vials is starting to react. Wisp of smoke coming up. And between all of these tables and all of these devices, there were cords and wires running through all of them, entangling amongst each other. Most of them lit up with this kind of neon glow.
And it makes Sonny appear nearly ethereal. She's illuminated by these neon lights. And you see on your floor, she's taken some chalk and drawn a circle and some marks. And has in front of her this Etch-a-Sketch that has been a key component so far of her attempts to locate you and to summon you. And she continues just turning back and forth these white knobs. The illustration becoming more and more just black across the screen, in need of a shake, in need of a restart. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna go and try and see if I can adjust that. Because as much as Al really doesn't care about her safety most of the time when she's doing this, she cares about Sonny's safety.
Mm-hmm.
And when she's realizing that all this stuff is kind of being like, there might be
a fire hazard, explosion.
There have been fires, and there's a reason why Al's in the basement.
All right. So what would you like to try and affect?
I think I want to hijack into the computer terminal, because that's something that I could then. That's pretty key to everything that's being connected to it.
Mm-hmm.
And B, it's also a way that Al could communicate back.
Okay. So why don't you make me a roll? You are unfortunately very low on blood points.
Yeah, I still have okay with humanity, which is my tech stuff. Because I would like to use hacker.
Okay.
I gain access to a desired bit of information in the computer, or I access one of its primary functions. So that brings, so that's one thing I get to do.
Okay, so turning your mind more to the code, more to the rhythm of the electric, and less away from the fleshy reality of having a body, of being a person. You reach out to touch the terminal itself, where the hard drives are, the wires, the soul of the computer. And your hand phases through. And then in a blink, you're sucked into those wires. You become a part of the humming machine, riding along the circuit boards and circuitry. And you have access, but you do lose one humanity point. Bear that in mind. You are now one with the machine.
Cool. I think first off is to start powering down some of the stuff, chill out the machines a bit, try to lessen the load on the sockets.
Okay. Traveling out down that power cord into this giant massive socket, you begin breaking fuses in various appliances, the quickest way to turn them off, to create a break. And slowly the room flickers, becomes quieter around Sonny, and she glances, spooked by this occurrence. But she goes back to the actual sketch and continues trying what she was doing.
After that, I'm gonna go back and center myself onto the computer terminal. And first I'm going to turn on an alarm.
Okay.
Get Sonny's attention.
And this sounds, you know that crunchy noise in the middle of a dial-up sound, that kind of sound? Like that is exactly this sort of alarm that comes out. As you have no soundboard on this computer explicitly, speakers or any of that kind of thing. And Sonny looks up. Al? Else?
Yes, and I think she's going to start making the computer open up a terminal and start typing.
All right. It opens up the equivalent of like Notepad. And you get that just pulsing underscore. What do you type?
First it's Al. And then I'm stuck in the shadow plane. Children of Terra got me. Need to either find a way out or do something really stupid.
Okay, and Sonny, it takes a moment, but she sees that the screen is moving. There's something going on, and it's not just like a screensaver or anything. It's something is going on, and she comes over and she sits in your chair, and she watches as these words scroll across the screen, and she looks at the keyboard and painstakingly with 2 fingers kind of types in, I know, find a door, O-R, enter.
And just be like, where?
And Sonny kind of glances around as if, you know, the answer will be on the ceiling or on the blank wall or in the flickering of one of your components. And she types back, not sure. Should be obvious.
All right. Al like instinctively wants to nod, but then forgets she's not in a flesh body right now.
And kind of in the back of your mind, you see these words being formed from zeros and ones. And Sonny types, do not do anything stupid. Please.
Yeah, so she'll write back, can't promise, will try, and she's going to say, going to other coven.
And you see Sonny's face reflected in the glass, that screen, as you kind of gaze out. There and not there all at once, as you are in the circuitry and not in the circuitry. And you see her frown really hard and a flash of anger in her features. And then she just types, be careful. Full stop.
Yeah. And I think Al at that point will just say again, we'll try. And then one last note of like, don't turn everything on at once. Fire.
And she types back, okay, we'll stop.
Yeah. And I think Al will, if she doesn't know how to get out of this, she's just going to travel the circuit lines out from the room into the city.
Okay, you travel out of the room through the main power circuit, down into the larger lines of the street, and out into the city. Out in the city, Jess, where do you go when you leave the house?
I don't know. I think Jess just doesn't quite know where to go to begin with. She wanders around, and the thrill of hunting people down would not be like as good for her right now. There's a lot going on in her head. I think she would, after sulking for a bit somewhere, head to her father's townhouse.
Had to put my food down, sorry. Would you describe for us Jonathan Walters, I think that was his name, something like that.
Yeah.
Julian Walters. I think it was Julian. Describe his townhouse and what this place means to you.
So I feel like Jess maybe wasn't that familiar with the townhouse. This is where her dad stays in the city to work, because they obviously, being a rich family, they don't live in the city. They live outside of the city in a nice family home. So it would be a bit unfamiliar to her. I think maybe she's been once or twice. But it's obviously somewhere kind of flashy. It's a nice place. Modern for the 80s. So, you know, a crime.
And how do you look, Jess?
Not good. Can we say that it's been raining, so at least I can wash some of the blood off with the rain? Nope. Cool. Cool. No, I don't.
I'm pretty sure it's been a dry night.
Right, okay.
You may have been able to find a dirty puddle, or maybe a public bathroom, something of that nature, if you'd like.
Yeah, but even then, like, I don't think that Jess is in like a super great mind frame where she would be super concerned with being clean, so it would be like just a quick at best.
So you go into this public bathroom, and it's about as clean as public bathrooms ever get.
Yep.
In the middle of a city. There's kind of toilet paper stuck to the floor and questionable smudges up the wall. The mirror in front of the sink is cracked. Turn on the taps. It takes forever for the water to really have any power behind it. You scrub it off and you look up at yourself and it's still kind of smeared. It's still kind of there, just this grime. Your clothes, there's nothing you could do to salvage them. Just definitely got that reddish brownish stain going on. Unfortunately, I think you're wearing pretty dark clothing from what I remember.
Yeah.
But it's still definitely there. And looking up at yourself, you appear more monstrous than you've ever seen yourself. Your fangs are still there, very present. And your eyes are bloodshot and wide. And for the first moments of looking at yourself, you don't recognize yourself. The animal part of your brain is curious. Who's that? Can I touch that? Can I catch that? And then kind of a blink and come back to yourself. No, that's me. Fuck.
I feel like that would be the thing. Like, she'd scrub her face, like all her eye makeup smudged, this blood, and she'd just be like, fuck, in the mirror. Yeah, like there's still that kind of right niggling in the back of the head, like what she was just a few like hours ago. But she's like, I feel like at this point she's trying like getting control back.
And your senses are still somewhat heightened, so the smells in this bathroom are fairly disturbing. And you hear the shuffling in the stool. Someone's probably sleeping in here. But you're not far from your father's, and you walk the few blocks down to where that townhouse is. This modern construction, more construction further down the block as they work on new apartments, new buildings. It's a white building with like pillars even on the porch, kind of like mini White House as part of a block. And you see on the window, the front window, there's a little "Vote for Julian Walters" sticker that's been placed there. There's a wide golden letterbox and an elegant gold handle, as well as a doorbell.
I would ring the doorbell.
You ring the doorbell and it's answered after a moment. A woman comes to the door and you recognize her as your father's secretary. More of a personal assistant. She's just always around, always doing stuff. Jess.
Hi.
Julian. And she calls and steps back. She backs away and then moves forward and actually grabs your arm and pulls you in to the building before you can run away. Where have you been?
Where's my dad?
Julian, she calls again, and you hear the creak of the stairs as down the stairs comes your father. He's wearing slippers and slacks, still in a shirt, although it's unbuttoned and loosened. His sleeves rolled up to the elbows. He has with him a tumbler with some, you imagine probably like a whiskey, something of that description. It's a dark liquor. And the glass just falls. And it hits the hardwood of the floor and just smashes. And he grips the hall wall. And his assistant looks between you and him. And she makes sure the door is shut. Pulls the deadlock across it. And excuses herself, leaving you stood face to face with your father.
Feel like there would be a long silence as they're just kind of like, Jess stares at him, he stares at her. Hi?
Hi. It's as if he just can't think of words.
Yeah, and
Echo was coming from you.
Jess, well, not, wait, I'm not dead?
And his shoulders just sag, and he looks older than you remember him looking the last time you saw him. And he kind of walks through the mess of the glass. You hear it kind of crunch under the slippers. And he nearly hits a running speed by the time he gets to the end of this corridor, and he throws his arms around you. And the first choke sound he makes is just a sob. He just has no words.
Mm-hmm.
And you can smell the alcohol on him. You can still smell the last of his kind of days aftershave, as your senses are so strong still from having been in that feral state.
Mm-hmm. I'll hug him back. I think Jess would start crying at this point too.
And you stand there for a long while just crying together. And eventually he ushers you into basically the nearest room, which is the front living space. It's a very formal space, usually just kind of like day meetings with people. And you see stacked against the sofa are these signs, which are political signs, announcing Julian's run for mayor of the city. And there are boxes too of flyers. And the place is more cluttered than you've ever seen it, with all this material. And he pushes a box away, and he makes you sit, goes over and to a little arrangement of like what are those little glass things that the alcohol gets poured into called?
Decanter.
Thank you. Like a decanter and a couple of tumblers, and he pours one for himself and he pours one for you. And he holds it out.
I'll take it.
And his voice is strained and sore sounding, and he said, I've given up hope, Jess.
Kinda hoped you had.
And he sits in his armchair, but just on the edge. And he looks you over, and his eyes kind of fluctuate as he sees the state of you, but he frowns and he looks down to the glass in his hand, and he says, why? What happened, Jess?
And just look at him straight in the eye, and I'm in trouble, Dad. Don't know what to do.
Just tell me what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Was it a boyfriend of yours, or? And he's like
No.
looking. He's now like his eyes are on that blood. He's
Yeah.
back up, and his eyes are just locked on that blood.
No, that's not mine. Mostly, I think. I don't know.
Whose is it? Jess, what happened?
So, how much, if anything, do you know about what really happens in the city? About who really lives in this city?
And you hear him intake a breath. And you hear his pulse pick up. And you can feel like he's about to lie to you.
Ooh.
I don't know what you mean, Jess. You haven't answered my question. What happened? What trouble are you in?
Well, I guess I can't really answer until you answer. Cut the shit, Dad. What do you know?
I don't know if I understand your question. What do you mean, who really lives in the city? What really happens in the city? Is it drugs, Jess?
No. Nothing so dumb as drugs. Leaving out the part where it was a lot of drugs.
That's a lot of drugs.
My fangs are visible, right?
Yeah.
I think Jess, she'll just...
And you see him shift back in the armchair. And his eyes close. And another tear kind of falls down off his nose.
Wait, do you know?
And there's just a slow, resigned nod.
You know? Since when?
I know about the monsters. I know about what they do. I'd hoped it had just been something normal. I hoped. And then you didn't come home. There's a lot of death in the city, Jess. And he swallows back the entire contents of his glass.
That's what happened. I don't know who. Don't even really remember when. But, yeah. I'm a monster now.
Did you kill someone? Is that what that is?
Do you want to know? Do you really want to know?
Yes, Jess. I want to know what you are now.
Yeah, I've killed people. Didn't kill this one. This is the blood of one of my friends.
And his arms flex on the armchair as if he's going to pull himself up, and there's just no energy there. I think we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Your mother and brother. I'll tell them you're dead.
So I take it they don't know what goes on.
No, they don't know what goes on. No one goes on. No one knows. And he releases. His knuckles are kind of white from having gripped so hard on the arms. It's a secret that we try and use to help protect people. But when you were taken, it became more than that. And now I'm going to run for mayor, Jess. My campaign is about keeping the people of the city safe. You can't come back. And there is a hardness to his eyes as he looks at you now.
Mm-hmm.
But you still will notice the tremble that is going on in his hands. And knowing your father, because you know him well, you know that he is upset.
Mm-hmm.
And that he is conflicted.
Is this it then? Are we done?
What? Is there something I can do to help you?
No.
Do you need to stay here?
Maybe today. The sun's about to come up. But after that, I'll be gone. You'll never see me again. I won't interfere with your campaign. I won't.
And he lifts his gaze to meet you, and he just sobs your name. And just this feeling, this huge grief energy. And you hear the sound of his secretary's heartbeat before you notice her. And she stands in the doorway of this living room and looks between you two. And your father looks up and he says, "Go." And he repeats it, and it turns into this yell, just commanding her to go. And she nearly falls as she tries to move backwards, so taken aback by your father, who is normally so softly spoken. And you hear the front door as it closes. And you're alone with your father in his townhouse. What do you do?
Oh man, Jess is heartbroken. But she's trying not to show it. But I think she'd say, "Is there anything you want from me before I'm gone?"
And it's the longest moment as he doesn't answer, but he holds out his hand to you for you to come and sit with him in his chair.
Mm-hmm.
Do you take his hand?
Yeah.
And he pulls you into his lap. And the last time you remember sitting with him like this, you were a little girl, and he'd come back from a business trip and he bought you a present. You were more interested in the present than sitting with your father. And you stay like that until the sun begins to rise and you feel that call of sleep. And he will take you up to a guest room in the house and set you up. Promise to make sure there are clean clothes for when you wake up. And he goes to kind of pull the door to, and he opens it again. He says, "Good night."
Night. When you tell Mum, tell her I loved her, yeah?
They miss you, Jess.
Yeah, and Jess is just gone.
And he does that parent thing of not quite closing the door all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear his slow footfalls down towards the master bedroom. And he goes into his own room. And as you lay there, in the back of your mind, you hear this distant voice. Sounds far away. And it's a woman's voice, and it says, "Come home, Jess."
I think that would just make Jess just start crying so bad.
I'm sorry, it was "Come home now." My bad, I just rewrote
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Come home now.
Yeah, she's just a mess right now.
Right, and the sun begins to rise. May, back at the house, you experience no response from Jess.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard Sonny come in, speak with the Exes, presumably bringing a delivery of blood. And you hear Sonny again leaving the house as dawn is approaching. Is there anything else you'd like to do tonight?
I think the only thing that May would do is she would probably look over the information she has about a few people. Bradley Carmichael and Julian Walters. and just review the things she knows about them.
So you first met Bradley Carmichael a number of years ago, when you began working in the finance department in the office that you currently work in. He'd been at a function. He was a big investor, made a lot of noise, was an easily manipulated target. That was the thing that you remember most about him.
Stupid.
Young and ambitious and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Exceptionally stupid, in fact.
Mhm.
But funded and backed by a lot of money. You remember most recently about Bradley Carmichael that his name had appeared when you'd accessed that database
Mm-hmm.
and you'd searched for it, and that recently it had listed his girlfriend as Francesca Walsh, or Welsh, I forget which. I think
Yes.
Welsh.
Welsh.
And that had been new. You didn't know about him having a girlfriend.
Yeah.
But you do know that he is currently running for mayor,
Mhm.
and that his base is everywhere,
Yes.
and that the ad revenue alone could probably fund 1,000,001 things that would be more valuable to the city than his campaign.
Yes.
You also know that Julian Walters is a philanthropist, and again, a very rich man in the city. The family mostly known for being the heads of boards, such as like the theatre board and galleries and museums and that sort of thing. But you also know that there have been rumors that he was going to run against Bradley Carmichael. This had not come to pass, however, and you come to understand that this is because his daughter had gone missing, which you know a little bit about.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed that Julian Walters had no interest in returning to public politics. But you learnt tonight that Julian Walters had taken back up his run
Yes.
and was back in the race for mayor.
Mm-hmm.
You know that Julian Walters is married. His daughter is Jessica Ann Walters, and he also has a son. His wife, I've already forgotten what her name was. Had that open somewhere. He has a wife. For the most part, she lives out of the city in their large house. Kind of like if you imagine like a Hampton style house,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of deal. Her name is Catherine. There we go, that's what her name is. And she also came from money. She was educated at a top university, was a lawyer before she kind of retired to being a mother to the children.
Mhm.
Jess. And what is your brother's name? Is it Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan is their son. Bradley Carmichael, by comparison, has gone through a number of divorces. Definitely is better off when he is single. He has appalling taste in women, but that is possibly reflected by his low IQ and ambitious nature.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But he's a lot more pliable when he doesn't have a girlfriend.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Is there any specific information beyond that you would be interested in trying to recall?
I think right now she's just trying to turn it over with everything else she knows, given the information she got on this night about what it is she is supposed to do. Trying to think of really why this matters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what she's going to sleep on, essentially.
Exes, is there anything else you would like to do tonight as dawn approaches rapidly?
How good is Exes feeling at this point? Pretty awful still, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's like the worst sore throat you've ever had. That kind of like hardware in the throat.
Never had a sore throat before. It's just, this is new.
And there's like a, you feel weak for the first time. Like you've never felt frail, you've never felt sick, you've never felt injured. For the first time, you feel not like you're immortal because someone came along and could do so much damage.
Mm-hmm. I think she's just gonna go to bed a little early then, but she also wants to wind up the alarm clock and get up as soon as she's able to, because she wants to catch Julia Child's cooking show the next evening before work.
Okay.
So.
And you do that, and your pet cat Velvet comes up and curls up alongside you, and you fall asleep with her kind of purring against your cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Fluff going up your nose, as is wont to happen with cats. Ow. You drift across the city through circuits and lights and lampposts and various other electrical items, going to a place that you know very well. Why don't you tell me about where the other coven live?
The other coven lives in the gated community of New Amsterdam. They live in a very, very nice house because, well, they knew how to manipulate money, and that's what they mattered. That's what mattered to them. So it's just kind of nestled in the center of one of the parks gates with a large road that leads up to it. And normally Al would have to worry about that gate, but not so much here, as she just phases it, pops right through, and walks up to the large house that matches all the other houses next to it. About 3 floors tall and expansive. Painted this white as all the other houses next to it.
As you cross the welcome mat, that brown beigey colored welcome mat, you see sticking out from it a flyer for Bob and Robert Brothers, a plumbing company, it appears. And it all is very still and very quiet. And you realize as you stand here on this front step that the sun is up.
Yeah, the first sunlight in a very long time. And the first time that standing at this doorstep in a long time. And she's going to step through.
Okay. You step through, and the house, as much as you remember it, it has a number of very expensive items adorning the hallway, a large vase, a large portrait of one of the ladies that resides in this house. It's just very lavish and over decadent. It's, pimp my play place. It's Barbie's dream house on crack. Slightly less pink, but something akin to that. Sorry, go ahead.
And I think there are motifs of cards. Suit, the card decks, the suits, spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts, in a lot of places.
And indeed, as you go up the stairs, each one is given a number and a suit on its tread. These are very familiar stairs to you. Where do you go in the house?
First, I'm going to my old room. So that would be, unlike the current house, that'd be on the 2nd floor.
And what state did you leave this room in?
When Al, or she went by a different name then, left this coven, she did not, she took what she needed, but she needed to get out fast, so she left a lot of stuff.
And so when you open this door, or rather step through because you don't need to open it, It's a shock almost to see how empty this space now is. There are a number of boxes stacked against the wall, and your bed remains, or the bed frame, the mattress leaning up against it. Is there anything in particular you were looking for here?
It's mostly, looking for a door, and her whole thing is that she only knows certain places in the city. Her home, Sonny's shop, and this place.
Why don't you make a roll for me
Right.
as you search for the door? Or a door, rather specifically.
That's an 11.
Okay, with an 11, you wander through the rooms of this house, one by one, avoiding the ones to begin with that you know have sleeping vampires in, or should have sleeping vampires in. And everything is very much, you remember, very normal feeling. The room that you find yourself in when a strange feeling begins to bubble inside of you is what should have been the swimming pool. It's one of those indoor pool spaces, and usually it would be filled with water for exercise, and normally there would be floating large inflatables and a bar. But as you walk in, this space is bare, like your room. The pool itself drained. You can see the slope as it gradiates down from the shallow to the deep end. And you notice there's a hole in the ceiling, and sunshine beams down through it into the deep end of the pool.
Al, I think probably hops down into the pool. Or what would it be, the pool? And walks slowly, cautiously towards that spot of sunlight in the deep end.
And as you approach this sunlight, you see it makes almost a perfect spotlight, very slight jagged edge, where part of the roof's construction sticks out above it, casting a shadow. And just beyond it, on the other side from you, you see one of the shadow men. He is crouched back, gripping onto the sides of the swimming pool, as if the sunlight has power against him, and he is afraid.
Yeah, one of you.
And his head snaps, and he squints and then retracts and tries to hide his face from the light.
Ah, so you don't like sunlight either. That's new.
Shake of the head.
Is this the same one that's been following me or a different one?
You have no real way of telling. Looks very similar.
Okay. So, are you the one that's like been supervising me, or are you just here?
And there is no verbal response, but you do see a hand that reaches out. But as it passes into the light, it vanishes. And his face turns away, and he pushes the hand further, and the arm extends unnaturally long and inky, emerging the other side of this stream of light next to you.
Last time I touched one of you, it didn't go so well. So, don't really know if I should take your hand here.
You can make like an insight or an intelligence kind of roll.
All right. Yeah, I don't have any knowledge on that, but that's fine. That's a natural 20.
Okay, so with a natural 20, you know that touching one of these things did some bad stuff to you, but it also moved you to where you woke up. You have been offered a hand by one of these creatures now 3 or 4 times. You know that you are looking for a door, a walker, or a passenger. And you know also that it seems very aversive to light. You also know from your studies with May that this creature does secrete some form of toxin, and that is possibly what had the effect on you. That is some sort of naturally generated chemical from within its body. At the moment, it appears helpless to you in this power dynamic, and definitely averse to the light that is by it. So you have a choice. You know that touching it is bad for you. You also know that touching it is how you have moved between realms before. And as you are faced with this decision, through the hole in the roof, a pigeon flutters down and begins pecking at the pool floor at your feet. Another hand is reached out by the shadow creature, and it touches the bird. And the bird bursts into flame. You smell burning hair and feather and flesh. But then the bird flies. White pigeon flies up to the ceiling. And it bounces up because pigeons are really dumb. And it flies back down. And it sits next to you. But it won't go near the spotlight now. And as you look at it, you can feel its energy. You can feel that it is now on the same plane as you, would be the closest explanation. It is now part of wherever you are.
I think at this point, Al will just step a little closer. All right. And she'll take the Shadow Man's hand.
Okay, make a roll for me. Do you have anything that affects your constitution?
Nope. I'm a scientist.
I'm a scientist.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
What did you roll on that one?
Yeah.
Nat 20 followed by nat 1. So you touch this hand and you feel that icy cold. And you stand now in the sunlight. And you feel it begin to burn. And the ice runs through you as your skin is on fire. And that's the last sensation you remember as the world turns to black. Night arrives in New Amsterdam. Exes, your alarm goes off. What sound does your alarm make?
I think it's just the old-fashioned alarm, so the as it bounces between the two bells. She found that highly amusing compared to digital. She's like, oh my gosh, you just wind it up and it rings. That sounds awesome.
And it vibrates literally as sunset is in its very last moments.
She'll get up. She doesn't want to wake up May in case May isn't awake yet. So she'll just go down to the kitchen and she'll turn on Julia Child. She's going to follow along and bake 2 cakes.
Why don't you make a cooking roll for me?
Okay, let's see how this goes. Not bad. I got a 13.
Okay. What kind of cakes Because Julia.
Well, she's following the Julia Child chocolate almond cake recipe.
Mm-hmm.
And on the top and the icing, one says "thank you," and the other one says "sorry, I bit you."
Okay.
And the one that says "sorry, I bit you," she's gonna kind of like put over, and she's gonna like, she doesn't know if Jess is home or if Jess is coming back, but she's gonna put it right in front of Jess's door with like a sticky note that says "to Jess from Exes." And then the other one she's gonna give to Sonny.
Okay. Cool.
On her way to work.
Perfect. Is there anything else you want to do before you left the house?
Just kind of knock on May's door. May, are you awake?
Yes, of course I'm awake.
Hi. Could I borrow a turtleneck and a skirt or something? I'm guessing her neck isn't completely healed, but it's just a lot better. So she kind of wants to cover that instead of, hi, work.
Mhm.
Look at this spray painted dress covered in blood.
They frown on that at the pet shop.
They do frown on that. It's not great pet shop material.
The dogs would love you. Yes, sure. I have a few turtlenecks. I have one that's a little bit more 70s. It's one of those where it's like, what is it? Like the shiny polyester, like rayon type stuff.
Ooh.
And it goes up and then there's like a big bow. It makes you look like you're all wrapped up like a present.
I love it.
Like that. Yes. And it's like mauve or like mustard.
Okay.
Yellow.
Yeah.
That's even worse. It's mustard yellow.
I love mustard yellow.
I was gonna say, I like my wish list has like a mustard yellow cardigan on it.
I know, me too, but this thing that I'm thinking in my head is fucking terrible.
Okay.
It's like
yellow
70.
Bow. Perfect.
It's
yes.
bad, and it has shoulder pads, even though it's rayon.
Ix just thinks it looks awesome.
And I can give you a skirt as well if you want. I have another, like, it's like a mustard yellow and forest green, like horizontal stripe.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can have that.
Thank you very much. Also, there is a little extra cake downstairs if you would like some.
I'm okay. I'm not human. I don't eat cake, but thank you.
I mean, it tastes pretty good. I did try some.
You did? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to talk about like how that works in a system at some point. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I
It'll
never
be,
knew chocolate was so delightful.
It'll be about 48 to 72 hours before.
Okay. Well, we have time
we
to...
get to talk about.
Okay, I'm gonna go to my shift at work.
Okay, you let me know if you need anything today.
Okay, I do have the phone number to the house.
Good, and if I'll give you, I have a cellular telephone. I will give you the number to that as well.
Okay.
If you see Jess, you might need to run.
Okay.
So don't hesitate, because I don't.
I'm hoping that will be unnecessary, as I made her a gift.
Did you make her a cake?
I did.
Oh, she'll love that. It'll be great. And she will give you one of those little, like, she's gonna try to be sweet to you. And then give you like a pat on the shoulder.
Okay. Exes is like, she's just all about it. So she will drop off the other cake at Sonny's business, as she knows where that is and seen it. And it says, to Sonny from Exes on another post-it note on the box. And she leaves it on the step. And then she'll go to work.
All right. So you walk out to Chinatown, you drop off the cake, and you come back to the Happy Fish pet shop, formerly Pet Cetera.
I definitely low-key like check out the alley first. We were like,
Right.
what is it back there?
Looking it down there, you see this dark and murky puddle. You see the trash can is still like on the wonk from where it was thrown.
Oh yeah, I just shoved that dumpster.
There is definitely a lot of evidence of what happened here.
Okay.
Because no one has noticed or cleaned it up.
Okay, cool. She'll be like, well, at least no one's, maybe I can clean it up while I'm on shift today. And she'll go into the pet store.
As you go in, you can hear a conversation happening. I'm telling you, she smells strange. What do you know about it? I think she's delightful. What do you think, Edmund? Do you think she's delightful? Edmund knows nothing. His nose barely works. Damn it, Donnie. Hey, wait a minute. And this sausage dog comes streaking out from behind one of the stands, tail just like down to the dozen, and looks up at you, tongue kind of lolls out, sits on your foot.
Hi, Donnie. I'll give him pets.
Exes! Edmund's head just appears over the top. I didn't hear the bell, and you look up and the bell has kind of got caught on the ledge.
Oh, yeah.
When you came in.
Oh, it appears to be malfunctioning. I could fix it if you'd like.
Yes, that'd be very helpful.
Okay.
Just
blink.
And he comes around and he's got Polly, the cat, in his arm, and he kind of deposits her on the cash register where she likes to sit.
I look to see if there's any people in here aside from Edmund.
You see no people.
I keep that in mind. I just file that away.
And right, well, the birds arrived, and he takes you to.
Have they really?
And there's this large, semi-ornate aviary that's there, and it's bright budgies and blues and yellows and greens, and they're all kind of tweeting and hopping around in there. Yes. And he kind of shows you them. I don't really have anything for you to do, actually. I forgot you were coming in.
Oh. Should I have called? I'm terribly sorry. Yesterday was a little hectic for me.
No,
Day.
Oh, did something happen?
Not really. I went to a park and some people were rude, but then I went home and everything was fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I baked some cakes. I didn't have enough or I would have made you one too.
That's very nice of you. Really, you don't have to. Which park did you go to?
I'll tell him the name of the park.
That's the one I take Donnie for walks in.
It's very scenic. I'm rather partial to the waterfall.
I like the waterfall too. And he is looking around, and like the store is actually the cleanest you've seen it. Every time you come in there, there've been like little things to do. Well, actually, since the birds need to settle in, I was actually gonna close early today.
Oh. Do you need help closing anything?
Sure. Why don't you check the temperatures on the lizards?
Okay. Go for it. I check all the temperatures.
And he kind of finishes up a couple of things, and you hear, oh dear, just this resigned sigh. And looking around, you can't see anyone that could have said such a thing. It certainly didn't sound like Edmund, unless you heard a female voice recently.
Do I see Polly?
You do. And she is stood up on a large stack of kitty litter, and she's literally watching you, eyes just locked.
I make curious, cautious, nervous eye contact with Polly. I'm like, then I go check the temperatures.
And she kind of meets you, and she mirrors your expressions very briefly, as much as a cat can. And then she kind of sits and begins cleaning her paw, her eyes all the time watching you.
Like, oh my gosh, what if? Well, if she's thinking like, if maybe it's Al, because if Al possessed Jess, maybe Al could possess Polly too.
Maybe. And Edmund comes through, and he's carrying a red leash with him. I was actually gonna take Donnie for a walk, and did you want to come with us, maybe?
Sure, that sounds like fun.
Great. And he kind of locks up the register, puts the key in his pocket, looks around the store, turns off a couple of the lights. Great.
Is Polly stay in the store?
Polly kind of wanders over, but yeah, she does seem to
I'll
stay
say-
in the store.
Bye, Polly.
And Edmund kind of looks towards her and then back at you. Bye, Exes. He kind of mimics the cat's voice because he wasn't sure what you were expecting.
Uh-huh. Polly just seemed to be very attentive today.
She gets in moods sometimes. I think she gets bored in the shop. And the birds, I won't let her near them. And
Oh, do cats eat birds? I did see a cartoon that had a cat named Sylvester and a very small yellow bird, and there was much shenanigans to be had.
it's a lot like that, yes.
Okay.
She's very proud when she does find something and kill it. Sometimes she likes just finding dead things and bringing them to me as if I'm not gonna know that she didn't kill it, but she tries.
Good to know.
She brought me the same rat 3 days in a row. I don't know how she kept finding where I put it, but she did. Sorry, that was weird.
Oh no, that's fine. They'd like to live in the alley behind the pet shop, right? And she realizes she was just excited, and then it was like, oh wait, don't look behind the alley.
Yes, like the white one you found. Lives in the alley, not in the pet shop.
Yes,
And he
Yep.
reaches up and pulls down the metal covering for the front of the store. Sets off the padlock. Right, Donnie, and he puts on the leash, and he offers it to you. Did you want to walk, Donnie? And he realizes this is very strange, that he should probably walk the dog, but he's already started offering, so he's going to continue.
Whatever Donnie would prefer.
And he looks down at the dog and then at you. He likes you,
Okay.
but if he's a bother, just pass it back. And you set off down the street. It's a bit of a walk to the other park. We could just go to the central one if you like.
Sure, I have not been to that one yet.
Up and down. And he leads you back towards the junction that you ran across yesterday, ending up on this corner, and leads you around, and eventually you enter a park, which is very akin to kind of a Central Park situation. He leads you through. So, what did happen yesterday?
Well, one of my roommates and I got into a bit of a fight, but I baked her an apology cake, so I think everything will be okay. I just kind of adjust my turtleneck a little bit.
Yeah, I think everything will be okay. Who can say no to an apology cake?
Yes, I followed the Julia Child chocolate almond cake recipe. It was very easy to follow along to. Very educational.
I am sure Julia would be happy to hear that.
Tastes very good as well. I had no idea chocolate was so delicious.
Were you not allowed chocolate as a child? Or
No, I was not. It
Your
was
upbringing was strict. I mean, no pets, no chocolate. Sorry, that's rude. I shouldn't.
no, it was very sheltered. It's fine. I'm learning so much now, and it is very exciting. Lovely weather we're having.
Yes, it hasn't rained in a day, 2 days.
Mhm.
You know a lot about the weather, right?
It fluctuates from time to time. The weatherman, however, is not entirely accurate, as he was 3 degrees Celsius off yesterday.
I must have missed that. I'll watch more closely.
The lady is much more accurate. on Channel 3 News.
Yes, I like Winona.
Hmm.
I mean, she's good at her job. He kind of flusters and walks a few steps quicker. So the kittens are all gone now.
Did they all find homes?
Yeah, so how's Velvet, and what did your roommate call their cat?
Oh, what did Ephemera call the cat? Because Exes would not have forgotten that I did. She'll say the name of the cat. And then I named my kitten Velvet.
That's a great name. Perfect.
Very soft, like velvet.
Like your dress.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Sylvia. That was, yeah. Sylvia and Velvet. But yeah. But Velvet's very happy. Velvet doesn't like taking her medicine very much, but I make her do it anyways.
That's good. She needs that. Do you need more?
Probably soon.
Okay. I'll make sure I've got it next time you come in. If you want to keep coming in, you don't have to.
Oh no, I find it very enjoyable and fun.
Good. You're very good at it.
Am I?
Yes, you even found a rat that I didn't know should be in the pet shop. And Donnie likes you, and Donnie is like literally keeping pace with you, occasionally kind of trying to tangle up with your legs.
Uh-huh. Well, Donnie is very likable, so I don't know anyone who would not like Donnie.
If only you could tell Polly that.
Polly seems a bit pickier.
She is a cat. And you wander through, and down there's kind of like a little central lake area near the earthworks that May had kind of run past that night. And there are peddlers with like animal heads attached to them.
Mm-hmm.
Different kinds of animals, and for the most part they're kind of tied off in a little roped area. It's kind of not the right time of year for them to be out on the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And Edwin kind of leads you down the path to walk around by the water. Do you have plans for the weekend?
I do not, actually. I should probably attempt to see what my roommates are doing, as one of them hasn't been home in a day. But I think she's okay, because she's very smart. But aside from checking in on her, nope, I don't have any plans at all. Oh, I wanted to try a hamburger. I almost did yesterday, but then I was interrupted by my roommate.
Well, what was the weather report today for tomorrow?
Oh, the weather report today for tomorrow is mostly cloudy, 30% chance of showers, and a bit chilly.
Well, it sounds like perfect barbecue weather, he says with full confidence. Nothing guarantees rain like a barbecue. And you could try a burger if you wanted to. I mean, would you like to have a
I would love to try a burger and a barbecue.
Great.
Excellent. What time?
Oh, lunchtime? That not good?
I have a medical condition. I get sunburned really easily. So maybe if we could do it after dusk.
You mean like dinner plans?
Yes.
No. Okay. Sure. Sure.
Okay. She's like, oh, dodged a bullet there.
And as you
Thanks, soap opera, for teaching me medical condition excuses.
As you're kind of breathing a sigh of relief, you catch sight of someone out the corner of your eye. Someone you recognize.
I look over.
They look a little different from how you remember them. And it's a young man who in the future is someone fairly important to you. And he's just walking through the park. In his hand, a brown paper bag.
I'm like, do I say something? Do I not say something? She'll be like, oh, I think this is a friend of mine. And I'll just be like, one moment. And I'll just run over real quick. Be like, hello.
Hi.
Do I know you? You look a lot like somebody who I'm very close friends with.
I'm not looking for that kind of date. And he kind of starts to sidestep you.
Nope. Okay, bye. Sorry, I must have mistaken you for someone else. And I run back over.
And you see him, he kind of glances over his shoulder, like frowning at you. And disappears to the crosswalk.
Like, okay, all right. I didn't give myself away. We didn't. Okay, good. He's not like, She's like, okay, so he didn't time travel back. He must have just existed at this point. All right, cool. She just wanted to double check that for herself. She doesn't know.
No, she doesn't know.
She'll walk back like, just looked like another friend of mine. Sorry.
That's fine. Did you need to go?
Nope. I'm free all night.
Oh, all right then. And you kind of do a couple of laps of the lake until it comes to the point where it's literally like you've done it 4 times now, and Edmund's kind of running out of small talk. I think that's probably enough for Donnie. He's only got short legs.
He does have very small legs.
If you don't have plans tonight, did you want to go catch a movie?
Yes, I would love to. I've heard that the screen is much larger there than on the television.
Yes. Great. Well, I need to take Donnie back. Did you think changed or?
Yes.
I mean, you look great. What you're wearing's fine.
Thank you. No, I'll meet you at the theater in a bit.
Okay.
What time? Like an hour?
Sure. I think there's usually one at 9.
Okay.
He checks his watch.
All right. Well, I will see you at the theater at 9.
Great. The one on Chestnut, and he points towards the street. There's more than one cinema in the city, and he doesn't want you going to the wrong one.
That would be very bad.
Do you know what you want to see? I could get the tickets.
Surprise me.
Okay. Sure. All right, 9.
Yes. All right, and then she'll run back to the house.
Okay.
Just burst in through the door.
There's this awkward moment where you're parting and you realize you both have to go in the same direction for a little while. And then he kind of goes into the pet shop and gives you like a little wave, like round the back of the pet shop is where he's gonna go. Down an alley.
I let it happen. I don't say anything.
Okay.
Then as she runs home, bursts through the door. May!
What?
May, I need a different outfit because I said yes, and I don't know why I said yes, even though what he said what I was wearing is fine. Now I'm going to see a movie in an hour.
Who are you seeing a movie with?
Edmund. He owns the pet store.
Your boss?
Yes.
You're going on a date with your boss?
Is it a date?
Did he ask you to go see the movies?
Well, yes, we're going to see a movie, and then we asked about a barbecue tomorrow, but it was at like lunchtime, and I said I get sunburned real easy, so we're doing a dinner barbecue instead.
That's a good excuse.
Thank you. I it was real on the spot.
I don't know if do people have romantic relationships in your time?
Well, I wouldn't say they're romantic. But yes, they definitely have relationships.
They have okay. So are you aware? It sounds like you just got asked out on a date.
That sounds very exciting. I've read about them. I read they're very romantic. There was one in a comic that I read. It didn't go well though because you see the Juggernaut burst in through the restaurant wall and it was just, and then they had to stop. But
Yeah,
it was very exciting up to that point.
that probably won't happen in your date.
Probably not.
No. Now, what do you want to wear?
I don't know. What does one wear to the movies and to a barbecue?
You can wear pretty much, okay, so you can wear pretty much whatever you want to a movie because it's dark and no one will see it.
Okay.
So it's pretty much whatever makes you feel good and confident to wear. And barbecues are usually pretty casual.
Okay.
So again, it's pretty much whatever you want to wear. I'm very proud of you. It's going out on dates is very useful. If you know somebody wants to ask you out on a date, you can make them do pretty much anything you want. It's great. Really, I'm proud of you.
Well, that's good. Okay. I don't know if I want him to do anything specifically though. Like, I don't have anything for him to do.
Well, I mean, if you're ever hungry, you got that in your back pocket, really. It's just, it's the gift that keeps on giving. You're just like, hey, what's up?
You think he would not be upset with that if I asked him nicely?
There are things you can do. There are things that you can do. It might be new for you, but I can show you sometime. It's
because I learned the other day that it is quite painful when you bite somebody, and try to rip their throat out. I don't want to hurt people. So if I had a friend that was okay with,
well, it's not. You're probably going to hurt him, but you hurt pretty much everybody in your life at some point. I mean, what are you going to do?
Quick pause in this conversation for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Jess, what do you do when you wake up? I just want to see if you go back to the house or not.
I feel like, yeah, she'd go back to the house.
Okay, so you can be arriving back at the house around the time this conversation is happening upstairs by May's room.
Okay. Just go straight to her room and see the cake and just be mortified and not know what to do. So she just kind of leaves it and shuts the door.
So there you go. There are ways, Exes, that you can eat someone and it'd be perfectly okay.
Yeah. Oh, good. That makes me feel much better. I did enjoy the packaged meal that was brought by Sonny earlier. It was a bit cold. I think it had begun to coagulate slightly, but it was refreshing.
Okay, if that's, I mean, there are ways that you can get that to people. When Al comes back, I
Oh, by the way, I think Al may have possessed a cat today.
A cat?
Yes, at the pet store.
What makes you think that happened?
I think I may have heard it speaking, and it was staring at me very intently with a lot of emotion.
What did it say? Did it say, I'm Al and I'm also a cat?
No. I just don't know why else a cat would talk. Al was possessing it.
It said
something about she smells funny, so I don't know. That could mean a lot of things.
Are you talking about you? You smell fun? You don't smell. I'm gonna sniff you.
Okay. Do I need to shower?
You smell fine to me.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I would just keep an eye out on the cats here in case Al tries to say, in case it was Al and she's just trying to communicate through the nearest
cat. It doesn't really sound like Al's style, but I'll keep an eye out.
It was the only thing I could think of.
There's got to be a different, Ephemera would know. It's a different myriad reasons that a cat would speak and comment on one's scent. Yes. I don't know either. But can I do a roll to see if I hear Jess?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't your room on the same floor as Jess's?
Yeah,
yeah.
I imagine.
I
he
think
was quite
Jess probably
close.
came up the stairs and just.
I think I'm right across the hall from Jess.
Right.
I feel like Jess would have heard Ixis's voice and been like, "Oh fuck, nope."
If I hear or see you, then I'm just going to tell Exes, you pick out whatever you want.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hightail it straight to Jess.
Don't step in the cake.
Okay. And I'm gonna knock on your door, but like pretty intently, just like.
Come in.
I will let myself in. Welcome home, Jess.
Go on then, let me have it.
I've been thinking for a day what I was gonna say to you. And the fact of the matter is I don't know what happened. And what can I say? You know, what did you do? You attacked Exes? I thought she was your friend.
She is.
Are you in danger?
I don't know. I went to the subway to go eat. You know, I was dressing up like a normie riding the subway. I've done it before. Like, and I met this weird guy. He led me to this place, and I touched his hand, and I saw the Ferris wheel. I saw blood. I saw all sorts of crazy shit, and I didn't get a straight answer. I met this person called the Spider. Some fucking weird woman lives in a cocoon down in the subways, and then I saw Darcy. But she was all fucked up. Her face was wrong. And she ran and I chased her. And then she looked at me and then I lost control. I never felt stronger. I've never felt hungry. I never felt more alive than I did then. And I saw Exes. And I remembered how it felt to hunt the werewolf. And some part of my stupid ass brain was like, imagine what it's like to hunt a vampire. And I did. And then I was ripping out her throat. And I don't know. I didn't want to. I guess I did. I don't know. I wouldn't have done it. I like Exes. She's the most fucking normal one out of the lot of us, and she's from the future.
May's gonna give you a big maternal hug.
Yeah, and then I feel like Jess will lean into it, and she starts crying. She says, I went home.
You went home?
I saw my dad. You know what he said? He said he'd tell Mum that I was dead.
Why did he say that?
He's too busy running from here. I can't have his fuck up of a daughter ruining his campaign, can he?
Oh, he's a real asshole, isn't he? Jess. Every one of us has gone through that at some point. It's hard to lose control, but sometimes you need to remember the power you have now and what a gift that is. And why it's important to keep it in control. Anybody could have seen you. You could have done things you didn't want to do. So I tell you to be careful.
I know.
Be safe. Keep it together. Did you mean your dad knows?
Yeah. Apparently he's known for years.
He's known about us for years?
That's what he said.
Oh, God. I understand now. Jess, I don't know if you know, but I have a job and I go to work, but I do other things too. And I work with people who are, they're important to me and they're important to us. And they told me they wanted me to do something for them. They want me to do something new for them. And I didn't know why until now. But they want me to help make sure your dad loses.
Why? He's just a guy. I mean, he has a lot of money, sure, but just a guy.
Jess, they are our food. Cows do not know what people do to them. They cannot know what we do to them. It's not the way it's supposed to be.
But we were them. I
So?
mean, he's still my dad.
He was your dad. Some father he is, huh?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure if you want to, you can help me.
Okay.
If he knows about us and he's keeping it a secret, it's because he thinks, this is the way all rich men think, he thinks he can use it to make himself bigger. That's all they do. That's all they think about all the time.
But
how much did he tell you about what the world is like? Who's done that for you? Who's been here for you? Every day.
all right. All right. No, I'm with you.
I'm glad to hear.
Just don't hurt him.
Don't hurt him?
No. Or if you have to, make it an extreme last choice.
Well, the way I see it, Jess, we have some options. And physical pain is probably not necessary. But I think we're going to have to talk to some other people and decide what to do. It might be if he really doesn't want you to be alive anymore. What would happen if his good little daughter came back and said, I'm not gone. I'm not a victim of this city. I'm a victim of my father.
That's not just gonna hurt my dad, though. It's my
Who
mom,
else?
my brother.
Is that going to hurt them as much as being told that you're dead? If you wanted Jess, we could take them with us. They could be with you all the time.
Do what? You'd make them like me?
Isn't it a gift?
I mean...
Jess, make a roll for me. Do you have anything to do with recollection, memory?
No.
Insight?
Oh, wait a sec. Let me check. No.
Okay. Also, your original goal was that you didn't know what your limits were.
Mm-hmm.
Jess now knows she has no limits, just a cost. So you can... I will say that from now on, in exchange for 10 blood points, you can do nearly anything physically with your speed
Sweet.
at any time, but it will cost you 10 blood points.
Cool. All right, let's make this roll. That is a 14.
Okay, with a 14, you have the memory of the images that Mr. Fine gave you.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of eking back into your brain. The blood, the Ferris wheel, Darcy drowning, the darkness settling over as people fall. And for the moment, you see the last lamppost illuminating a spot, and you see in the back of your brain what could be the back of May walking away. And the darkness falls over you, and much like it did with Mr. Fine, you back here and you're back listening to May as she proposes, bringing your mother and brother into your life, or your unlife, as the case may be.
I feel like Jess is like a glazed over look as this is happening to her face. What were you saying? Sorry.
It's not important now. Just know, if there's anything you want to do, if there's anybody you want to be with you, you can do that now. You can make that happen. What do you want your life to be?
I don't know. Didn't know when I was human either.
Well, nobody knows when they're human. So limited, there's almost nothing you can do. But now you have all the time in the world to figure it out.
Hey, so when I was in those tunnels and I was having these visions, I saw something. I don't know if it means anything. I mean, the guy was like, "This is your past, present, future. Maybe, could be, whatever it is." Couldn't get straight answer. It was crazy. But I saw you.
You saw me in the past, present, and future?
I don't know. I saw you in these visions. But they were like of when it happened, right?
Of when? What happened?
When I was turned. At least I think they are. I mean, there's blood, there's the Ferris wheel, there's weirdly Darcy drowning. I don't remember that, but I mean, I don't really remember much of the night either, but it felt like the night.
Exes, you have chosen your outfit. You can hear May and Jess talking quietly in Jess's room. The cake is still outside the door. What do you do?
Well, I don't want to be rude and interrupt, but I also don't want to be late for the movies. So I think she's just gonna get herself touched up in the mirror and then real nonchalant and casual like kind of walk past push the cake into the room with her foot, like as she kind of like slides by. Okay, well, I'm going on my date. See you guys later. Just real casual walk out.
Do Jess or May respond?
I wouldn't respond to Exes, but I'd say to May, why doesn't she hate me? I tried to kill her.
I don't know. I would hate you.
She baked me a cake.
She did.
She knows I can't eat that, right?
No, I've been trying to get through to her that cannot happen, and I'm pretty sure, it's like you. She's gonna have to just figure it out on her own.
Oh boy. Well, yeah, okay. That's gonna be fun. Has anyone explained anything to her yet? Or is she gonna find out explosively?
About the food.
About the food.
I've tried a lot, and I don't think. Give her 48 to 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be there for her.
Yeah, I think I could hold her hair back at least.
Yes.
I feel like I owe with that.
Jess, that's what we do. We take care of each other.
Ow. Across town, in an expansive house, decorated as bougily as is possible, you catch fire. And smoke billows out of the hole in the roof of the pool house. And the fire spreads across the pool of the floor, or the floor of the pool even, and up the side, and slowly the house begins to catch fire. And so the house burns through the morning till lunchtime, when fire trucks arrive and slowly put out this blazing inferno. Nothing seems to happen for you. The world is just black. And night falls over the smouldering remains of an expansive house, whose decadent furnishings did not survive the fire. In the remains of the pool house, place where the fire originated, in the center of the floor of a drained pool, a woman's body lays, scorch marks around her. Ow, you gain the following asset. You are impervious to fire. And you, in fact, can control it now.
Oh, buddy.
And this is the gift that you gain from the Shadow Realm. Thank you to Mary Shadow, who did the donations a little while back. This is the gift that I decided we're going to give out today. As she is the Phoenix Rising.
And as
A little
Al
less
wakes
16 candles, a little more fire, please.
as Al wakes up, now that the sun has set, she looks up at the ceiling, at everything that pristine white, now blackened. And there's a little bit of satisfaction upon seeing the home of her former coven burned to the ground. And she'll stand up, very hungry. And now she can feel his hunger. And that's the most comforting thing that has happened to her in the past 36 hours. Let's look around. Do I see my shadowy friend anywhere?
You do. He stands as you leave the pool house area. He stands beneath a tree in the garden, a tree that has survived the fire, not being part of the building. And you see beside him the outline, a faint rectangular outline, and his hand is tracing over it. And you begin to understand what a door looks like, a door to another realm. He gives you a wave. And as he waves, out of his hand flutters the pigeon, blazing hot, up into the night sky above the house, and he steps through the shadow door, closing behind him, leaving no trace.
All right. I look over back at the smoldering remains, wondering if Layla, or Queen of Hearts, like she likes to call herself, was in the building. But she's not going to look because she has her own coven, her own family, and she should probably get back to them soon.
Okay.
So she'll start walking out.
And you walk across the city. Hungry, undead, apparently impervious to fire. And you arrive back at Mrs. Bartholomew's home for lost girls. And past Exes, dressed in a floral dress over the top of a perfect white turtleneck. She has a spring in her step and seems in a good mood.
Hey!
And Exes, you see Al.
Ow! I found you! And she'll run over and give Al a hug.
Aww. Yeah, Al will kind of be like the, oh! And then she'll hug back. Yeah, sorry about that. I, kind of got kidnapped, got placed into another realm where I didn't have a body, but I got back. I'm here.
Sounds complicated. Did
Yeah.
you try to possess a cat to communicate through earlier today?
No.
Okay, well, that's very strange then, because I had hoped that was going on after you kind of did that to Jess last night. I'm gonna have some questions about that cat. Okay, but I'm glad you're all right. I was very concerned about you. My weekend plans were mostly going to be comprised of a barbecue and trying to find you.
Thank you. Are you?
Oh, it's mostly better. Not gonna pull it down a little bit.
Okay, that's good.
Sonny was wonderful and was able to bring me some blood packets. And so I baked him a thank you cake.
Oh, I'm sure they'll like that. So nobody ate them, right?
No, well, not last I saw.
Okay. Well, that's better news than I hope.
I did not have Sonny's phone number, so I could not check in on Sonny. But you should probably do that and ask if they like the cake.
Right. And where are you headed? Are you gonna...
I have a date at the movie theater that way.
Oh. Have fun.
I will. I have no idea what movie I'm going to see. So I told it to. I didn't know. I was really on the spot, so I said, "Surprise me."
Have fun.
May and Jess are back at the house, and I haven't seen Ephemera. So.
Okay. Well, that's good. Wait. You should go to your date.
I will.
Date, yeah. Remembering that she promised that she would go on a date later this week. She's like, oh shit, right? She just pats Exes on the shoulder and continue walking to the house. Oh, muted.
You go into the house. And if you listen, you can hear probably that Jess and May are still in. Still having some sort of conversation upstairs. And as you are... Where do you go in the house?
I think first she's gonna go down to her lab, make sure that Sonny hasn't done anything terrible, and see if Sonny's there.
Okay. You go down into your lab and we see the flickering of a screen of lights. And in a parallel split scene, we see Exes walking through the city up to the movie theater where she meets Edmund. Edmund has tickets for Back to the Future, which is the best-selling movie on at the moment. And he takes you through, he buys candy and popcorn and drinks, not sure what you'd like, and you're not sure what you'd like.
I don't know what I'd like.
And you take seats. This is the sort of theater where it's like, you get in early, you can pick whatever seat you want kind of deal. And he makes sure that you get good seats somewhere in the middle. Meanwhile, Al, in the middle of your room is the Etch-a-Sketch surrounded by a chalk circle with some markings. And on your bed is Sonny, who has been sleeping and has been oblivious to the goings-on in the household. It had been a very long day and night yesterday for Sonny, and a lot of magic had been attempted.
Yeah, so I think Al, this is like the bed's the only indication that this place may be a bedroom. It's basically a lab and then a bed, with like a small wardrobe. And so she'll kind of go over and she'll take the blanket and make sure to tuck Sonny in. And then she's going to grab a few floppy disks.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, she's going to grab as many as she can hold into her hand and stuff into her bag. And then she's going to head upstairs.
And we see Al go up the stairs to the second floor. Exes, the movie, has a lot of commercials before it begins. A number you have never seen before. A number of trailers for other movies. There is a man with a whip and a hat. There is a little cute furry thing that you're not meant to feed after midnight.
Oh. There
is a man with a gun and a red, it looks like an electronic eye.
Oh.
A number of the best hits from 1980 Blip. And you sit there and Edmund sits there and his lap is just laden with all of the stuff. Is there anything you'd like to discuss?
She's just kind of like the screen's huge for one thing, and she's seen large screens before, but they're always more digital, less. They're not as this exciting.
You can literally see the projecting.
Yeah, that's
light
super cool to her. It's not just like, the pane of glass that you can kind of see through with that kind of stuff. Like, she's like, this is so cool. And she's trying all of the candy, all of the pop. She's trying all of the things. She's gonna regret this in about 48, 72 hours, but she doesn't know that yet. And so she is just excited to try it. She's discovered that I think Milk Duds would be her favorite. Seems like
legit to me.
very Exes. And just very, like, she'll ask questions about, like, that one looks exciting, or like, what does that mean? And she's gonna be a little put off by the title Back to the Future, and so the whole time the movie's playing, she's gonna be like, is this fiction or is this non-fiction? Like, just quietly questioning
and
herself.
as Doc Brown is explaining how the capacitor works and how you need, uranium and stuff to power it. I think it's uranium. I've seen it a little while. And it strikes you like that's not how what of science works, but it's certainly a method, and you question why 88 miles per hour is so significant. You can think of no statistical reason why that speed would be significant.
No, I can't. It's just very confusing.
And also, why is that car made of aluminum? That also makes no sense to you. What an impractical thing to make a car out of.
It seems very fragile.
It does. Al, you make your way up the stairs, hands full of floppy disks.
I'm actually trying to be heard going up the stairs, so like it's not like a not stomping, but vampire hearing and vampire stealth, and I'd rather they know that I'm coming. Kind of a very roundabout way of like, hello, I'm going to show up here to have a sensitive conversation, wrap it up. And she'll turn the corner. May? Jess? You there?
Oh shit, Al.
How? Are you all right? Are you real? And she's gonna try to like put her hand like through you.
Yeah, yep, I'm real. Please don't do that. That actually.
How though? Because last time I heard you, you were in my head.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, I mean,
I
sorry.
I panicked and I wasn't sure what to do, and I couldn't interact with anything without a body, so I kind of
No, but for real, like I feel like you were the MVP because I was about to kill Exes and you stopped me, so I am. Thanks for that. I'm also really sorry for threatening your friend. Sonny's nice.
I hungry. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, I need to eat real soon. I'm gonna have to go do that real soon. Yeah, I'm back. Things have been weird. I know things are not normal with us, but things have been really weird.
Where did you go?
I went in between.
In between.
Like, so if our world is here and a parallel world is here, I was kind of.
Oh.
What did they want from you? They wanted things from me.
Wait, who's this they?
The shadow people. It's fine.
Shadow people?
Yeah, so the shadow people are, they're not doing this by themselves. It's someone controlling the shadow people, I think.
When did the shadow people first show up?
I told you when I met them.
Did you tell me?
I did. Remember, I was scared. I didn't want to be scared in front of you.
Right.
It was like episode 2.
Remember when I screamed in your head and it really freaked you out? That was about the shadow people.
Cool.
So yeah, so I ended up in between, and then I ended up getting a task to do, which I'm still trying to figure out how to do.
What did they want?
The thing that I was looking into for you?
Mm-hmm.
They don't like that thing?
Mm-hmm.
They want it gone.
Oh, well, can we make it gone? But just so we'd have it. Just us. Can we do that?
Well, and she'll like swing over her satchel, and it's like opens it, and it's a fuck ton of floppy disks. I might be able to try.
Hey, so you're both aware I'm still in the room, right?
Right.
What is this project? Is this to do with what you were talking about, May? Is this?
Oh no, it's well, sort of. It's a side
secret government things.
Yes,
What the fuck?
The government is keeping records about every person in Deadfield, and
probably would also know if people are weird.
Yes. It's a
Oh,
little
shit.
threatening.
So that's there. And the children of Terra don't want it to exist. So they asked me, a vampire, which is like a really weird leap of logic there, but apparently I'm the only one who can do it, to get rid of it.
Children of Terra?
And they are.
You know, oh, wait, Jess, you probably haven't. I thought they were fake until this whole thing happened. So they're kind of like the anti-supernatural people. Like they're the ones who are like, you're not natural. We must destroy you. I thought it was just like, you know, like a really small kind of like rumor thingy, and
Huh. Cool.
yeah. So that's a thing.
Yeah. Well,
So
now that you're back,
Mhm.
you don't have to work for them, do you?
see, I don't know. They're kind of like, it's for the betterment of everybody situation, which, you know, when you're talking to Terra vampire.
I mean, of course, it's all of this is 100% up to you, Al. You can
Yeah.
choose.
Also, the other thing is, I'm pretty sure the shadow people know, you know, who I am, who you are, and probably will keep tabs on us. And then they're connected to the Children of Terror, I'm pretty sure. So they'll probably, you know, keep eyes.
Probably hunt us down relentlessly until we do their bidding or figure out a way to kill them.
I mean, that could be a possibility. I had one. I mean, I had a way I was able to come back is I was able to, like, you know, touch one of them again when I was in the shadow play, and then I came back and everything was burned down around me, but I wasn't burnt. And I'm here.
May you'll just murmur, "That's so cool." It's so
I'm
cool.
like, yes, right, that's right.
So, yeah, so that's the thing happening. I also know I'm so behind on everything because of being kidnapped. I still have to develop that photo. I still have to, was there something else? I don't have to develop that photo. Look to the two of them because they're the ones who have been asking me to do things recently.
Well, is the photo? We do have our double date, but I think that's tomorrow or the next day.
Shit, right, yep.
Wait,
mhm.
what?
We're there's this. I've told you about Patty, right?
Oh, yeah, I know about Patty. She's amazing.
She's not amazing. She's kind of amazing.
Yeah, she's fucking great. Yeah.
She's fucking amazing. But she wants us to go. We kind of got committed to go on a date with her grandson and her grandson's friend. One of them is named Raymond.
Oh,
I don't know which one.
you better figure it out.
Yeah, I am just, yeah. She looks clearly very uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, it's all another avenue to get a bite at the end of the day.
Yeah, speaking of which, I really should go get food.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Do you want company?
Yeah, I mean, I could eat.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Had a day.
That'd be fun.
Sure, let's go eat something before I do something stupid. Although I'm probably going to do that anyways, but before I do something really stupid.
I feel like we've probably hit our stupid quota for the week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's got to end somewhere.
Yeah, I think we'll have it refresh after tomorrow, and then I can go do my really stupid thing.
Cool.
Great.
Okay, so we're gonna head out and get food.
Great. Michael J. Fox is busy playing Johnny Be Good in the middle of the Under the Sea dance, and the kids are not down with this music. How does Exes feel?
Well, this music seems perfectly acceptable. I don't know why they're pitching such a fit over it. It's kind of beat.
And as you enjoy the beat, you glance across, and Edmund is totally air guitaring. He's trying to keep the remains of like the popcorn and everything balanced on his lap, but he's having a great time. He loves this movie. That is the most clear thing. And he hasn't admitted it to you yet, but he's definitely seen this before because he's been mouthing the words along.
Yeah.
To his favorite scenes.
She'll kind of smile a little bit, and because she's been like wrapped with attention this entire time, and then she like glances over for the first time to gauge his reaction, and she's just encouraged, like, humans have so much fun. This is great. Like, she doesn't say that, but she's thinking.
And he kind of sees your expression and he laughs. And he reaches over and he tries to take your hand. Do you let him?
I allow it.
He takes your hand and he kind of gives it a squeeze and he turns back and he points a little bit later on when Marty is kind of swinging across the street trying to get everything hooked back up to go back to the future. And he kind of brings your hand kind of across over to his lap. Not like nefariously, just like a little bit closer to him. I can see you all. It's really distracting, the reactions. And as the movie ends, he gives your hand a kiss and kind of puts the popcorn down on the floor and kind of prepares to get up. And the music's playing and it's the power of love at the end. And he kind of stands there for a while just watching the credits with you. As everyone else is clearing out, you're in the middle, so there's people kind of either side kind of sorting their lives out.
Filtering out.
And yeah, you're watching the end of this movie and he's like, I really like this song. Do you like this song?
It does seem to have a good vibe to it, yes.
Did you like the movie? And he still got hold of your hand.
Yes, I found it thoroughly entertaining. The topic of time travel is very fascinating.
Could you imagine if people could do that?
Yes.
I'm sure you could tell me how as well. And he's being obviously
she's just
ridiculous.
like yeah.
And the janitors kind of come in to begin sweeping up and they're like, oh, we should go. And he picks up the popcorn tray which has like all the rubbish and stuff in it and he brings it out with him. And he dumps it in a trash can on the way past.
Doesn't just leave it there. Those people are the worst.
People are the worst. And he leads you back through and the whole cinema just reeks of like popcorn and sugar.
Oh man, what a combination.
And he pauses by the door to look at the schedule for like the rest of the weekend.
Oh, there are so many films playing currently.
We could see another one sometime if you like.
I would like that, yes.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd. I guess I like all the movies.
No, media is very fascinating. I quite enjoy it.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone watch a commercial so intensely as you do.
They are very entertaining and informative. You can learn about so many things.
And you kind of wander out the cinema and into the night. And he kind of walks to the corner and he realizes he has no idea about where you're about to walk to. Should I walk you home? Did you? It's kind of cold. Do you want a cab?
Oh, it's not that cold. Unless you're cold. I'm not cold.
No, I'm fine. He kind of shrugs. He's got a denim jacket on.
Well, I live in this general direction. She'll kind of point towards the house.
Right, near the shop.
Yes, it's very close actually. It's quite convenient.
And he leads you along in that direction.
Where do you live?
Oh, there's an apartment just behind the pet shop.
Oh, so you live close as well. That's
Yeah.
also convenient.
Kind of no escaping work, but means I can be there if the animals need me, or
Mm-hmm. Something were to come up and happen.
Yeah. Actually, it was really weird last night. There was like, it sounded like animals were fighting, and I looked out, and I don't know.
How strange.
It was like there was a whole shadow in the alleyway, and then it was just dark.
Very peculiar.
I sound crazy.
No, not crazy. That's just maybe a crazy random happenstance.
Maybe it was a power cut or something.
Perhaps. Definitely nothing too absurd, or we probably would have found out about it today.
Right, you would have seen it on the news and told me about it.
Exactly. So it was probably just something random.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. And he gives you a strange look. You can definitely see confusion and amusement. But make me a roll to see if you can insight anything else.
Sure. Oh, that's actually pretty good. 16.
You suspect he doesn't believe a word that you're saying. And
Oh, she's a terrible liar. He shouldn't.
Going on. But you definitely get the feeling like he knows what he saw.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't believe what you're saying.
It's just the strangest thing.
Yeah, you of course you had that argument with your roommate yesterday.
Yes, we did have a disagreement of sorts. I think it's all smoothed over now, though. She hasn't spoken to me yet, but I think she's maybe still a little mad, but it's okay, because the cake should make her feel better.
And he's about to speak and then doesn't say anything. Kind of gives your hand another squeeze and carries on walking along. You pass Jess's bike on the opposite side of the street to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of looks along. So which one's yours?
I point to the big Victorian building.
Barty's? He says, confused.
Yes, this house right here.
Right. I guess that makes sense. One hand kind of goes in his jean pockets, and he crosses the street and leads you up the stairs to the doorway of the house.
Thank you very much for the movie. It was quite delightful. I had a wonderful time.
I did too. And I'll see you tomorrow for the barbecue.
Yes.
In the park.
I would invite you in, but it's a bit messy. She's like, there was a lot of blood in the living room last time I checked, and I don't know if anybody cleaned it since I've been gone. So, maybe next time.
That's fine. So tomorrow, after dark, in the park, for barbecue, burgers.
Excellent. All right.
Great. And he kind of turns as if he's going to walk away, and then he turns back and he kisses you on the cheek.
Little, like the hint of color, like from somewhere, pops into her cheeks a little bit. She'll see you then.
See you tomorrow.
Okay. Then she'll skip into the house.
And he kind of skips down the stairs in his own kind of two at a time way. And walks along the street, and he glances back until you are out of sight and in the house. And walks along to the pet store.
And as soon as I'm inside, I'm like, and then I look and I see that it's still a mess. And I like, really glad I didn't invite him inside. He would have had so many questions. And I'll just pull out the Mrs. Suds and a bunch of other soap and just get cleaning till somebody else, because she doesn't hear anybody else in the house, right? Because they've gone out with Al to get food.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll just be cleaning till they get home.
The only person you can currently hear in the house is the very distant heartbeat of Sonny as she sleeps down in the basement.
Okay, good. I wonder if Sonny saw the cake.
And you clean up. Kiana, where does Al go to eat tonight? Where does she take Jess and May?
Oh boy, she just really needs food at 2 fucking blood points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Where are you gonna go?
She's gonna try to head down towards Chinatown because that's her normal spot to go.
Mhm.
But if she finds a target or a place that is closer and sooner, she's going to take it.
Okay, what sort of target would you be looking for?
She's not that picky. She's just kind of like, okay, she's still not super comfortable with like young people.
Okay.
So she's just like an adult.
All right, so like no children. Luckily this time of night, probably not gonna see many.
Yeah. So like it's never really a problem, but she's just like,
Okay, so why don't you make me like a hunting roll?
okay.
And the higher it is, the better this is gonna go.
That is a 12.
Okay, with a 12, as you turn into Chinatown, there's a group of homeless people around the back of one of the restaurants, and they're just kind of going through, helping themselves to some food. Most of them seem not entirely in possession of their faculties, talking to themselves. Jess, you would remember Mr. Fine and have kind of a similar association, but they would be very easy targets for you. And there is enough here for one each.
Yeah, I was gonna go for it because she's very, very hungry. So hungry.
So that'll be a 1d6 for you. Unless you would like to kill your...
Ugh.
You are on 2 humanity. No, sorry, you have lost 1 humanity, my bad. You're not on 2. You've lost 1.
Yeah, I mean, her humanity's not looking so great either. She's at 3 out of 8.
Oh.
So, let's keep this guy alive as much as she can.
Okay.
You know.
All right. So how about you make a roll, and if it's over your 8 humanity number, then you don't kill him. If you roll under the 8, you are gonna kill this guy.
Great.
You're hungry.
Okay. That's a 10.
Great. Yeah. So you have control. You get your 1d6,
That wasn't much.
and he'll survive.
Cool.
There are 2 other targets here. May, Jess, you eat.
Yeah, but because I've got that memory of Mr. Fine, it's not as perhaps enthusiastic as Jess has eaten in the past. It's more of a like business in out, not killing them.
Okay. How is your humanity right now?
5.
And May, how are you doing?
I'm okay. My humanity's full topped up. But I could use some more blood. And since she doesn't have any fangs, so she's gonna have to do this the way she normally does, which I've been trying to think of, and I can't think of anything that's less stupid. But I think she has a sickle, and she literally like cuts them open with a sickle.
Okay. Have a pizza slice and just
beep. And then just like does
Okay.
that sort of thing.
so that'll be a 1d6 each for both of you. Unless you choose to kill your victim, and then you get 2d6.
Do they look like a nice person? Or are they
Tell me what a nice person looks like.
basically how capitalist do they look?
Homeless people.
No, they get to live. Fine. right.
And so with full-ish stomachs, having had your feed on these three, do you continue to hunt, or do you return to the house?
Put it to the group. What do we want to do?
Al didn't get that much out of that because she was trying really hard not to kill the dude.
Mm-hmm.
She still has that, you know, that look in her eyes of like, I need to eat.
We should probably stick with her.
Yeah, I'm fine, but I'll help. Make sure.
Great. So make another hunt roll. Just a d20.
That's a 16.
Okay, with a 16, there is a delivery boy that comes out on his bike. And he's kind of not really paying attention as he's trying to balance two huge bags of takeout on either side, and he's wheeling it down an alleyway. And that'd be an easy victim for you.
Yep. Gonna go for him.
Alright, make me a roll.
And hope I don't kill him. That's a 4.
Alright, well, therefore, unfortunately, you feel you're too hungry. You just don't care at the end of the day. So you can take 2d6.
Cool.
Unless May and Jess intercede and stop you.
I was gonna say, Alice, would you tell us that you don't want to kill people?
She generally doesn't kill people.
Okay, I feel like we
Generally
would be
speaking.
on watch for if she's going a bit too far. We'll be like, wait, nope. Get off the boy.
Get off.
Okay. Then yeah, I will let you intercede. Al, I will let you roll a 1d8 as you drink a little deeper than normal.
Cool.
But Jess manages to stop you from killing the dude.
Oh, thank God, 8. Yay.
This guy is pretty weak. And he kind of just sits against the wall with his bike next to him. The takeout kind of sat there getting cold. But
Okay.
he's not
Yeah. Yeah, I'll look. Thanks. I feel a lot better. We should probably go before.
And there's that strange woozy expression that most of your victims will have where they're like, what just happened to me? That was strange. It's an effect that you've kind of mastered putting into their minds where you don't really have to make a suggestion. Just the action is usually so quick and bizarre that their brains can't quite keep up with what's happened. But in a few minutes you will know he will come more to, and he will know that at least he was attacked to some degree.
Yep. So we're gonna nope out of there.
Okay. You nope out and go home? Right, and so you make your way back through Chinatown. You pass Sonny's shop, and you do see that the cake has been moved inside, or at least it's not on the stoop. Exes had told you she had left a cake, so that's how you know there was one here. You make your way back to the house, and it is a relatively peaceful evening. Jess, as you pass the park junction, you see a familiar convertible red sports car driving past.
Oh, he noticed me?
It doesn't seem to.
Okay. Well, seeing as I'm with May and Al, I'll be like, I didn't see that.
Okay. And you make your way back to the house, and everyone is home. Exes, you are snow whiting this house right now.
Yes. I got a little apron on and everything.
If there could be birds helping you, there would be.
Instead, it's just
as it
me
is-
moving Velvet like out of the way when I saw like get to one spot.
Velvet is chasing bubbles, and Sylvia is playing with the soap, and both of them are generally questioning your sanity of putting water everywhere. And that is what everyone comes home to, and that is where we are going to leave tonight's session. As we're a little late, but that's okay. So why don't we quickly run around, and I'd like you guys to let me know and / remind the audience what your goals are going to be for the second half of our season here, as we have about, I think, 5 or 6 weeks left of our game of Lost Girls. So let's start with Susie.
Oh my god. I actually nearly cried this episode. That was so good. Amazing show as always, guys. Like, everybody nailed it. Exes' date was the cutest thing on this absolute planet. I could not deal with it at all. But Jess's goal for this like second half is to find out where she came from in terms of vampirism. Find out who she is as a vampire, what her lineage is. But yeah, so I'm Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace, variety streamer, artist, tabletop RPGer. You find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace. I have a pinned tweet on my Twitter, which is at Susanna Grace, where it tells you where I am, what I'm doing, what time it's doing it, and what channel I'll be on. So check that out.
Awesome. And Lindy, how are you in Exes?
Good. Exes is very happy. Very much happier than the last episode where she was bleeding out. Now she's just cleaning it up. And she has a barbecue and she's tried so much food and she doesn't realize how bad that's going to be for her later. But she's very excited to have experienced all these things. Yeah, I'm super excited for next week. You can find me online on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at LaughLoveLindy, where I DM / play in about a dozen or so tabletop RPGs a week, especially if you like spooky stuff. No vampires right now, but Mr. Ravenloft on my channel every Tuesday from 9 to 11 Eastern time. We just finished Night of the Walking Dead, and it's going to be moving on to the next one. So.
And Kiana, how are you and Al getting on?
Oh man, this was an episode. Whew, all over the field board there. And we don't get along to Al's backstory, but she did not have a very good relationship with her previous coven. The fact that she decided to go there, managed to find a way out, and then just burn the place down, it's just very satisfying for her.
We'll do a quick post-credits scene. Al is finally processing that film, which has the photographs on, and you see that it's pictures of you and Sonny doing transactions, a number of pictures of you generally out and about, and there's a picture of you and Layla. And all of them kind of have the various appropriate dates on them, and it's a question of who took these pictures.
Yep.
How much do they know?
That's great. Because those are all the close people in Al's life, or used to be in terms of Layla, who was the person that was turned with her. So her first vampire friend, essentially. She goes by Alice, and Layla goes by Queen of Hearts. Yeah, so I'm now immune to fire, and I can control it, which is like super fucking dope for a vampire, where fire is one of the sure ways to kill a vampire. So she, just a little more impervious to things. So super excited to be back into it next week and see what else happens. But until then, you guys find me over on Twitter at KennaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing, because I'm all over the internet, playing role-playing games almost every day of the week. You'll find me back here on WebDM on Tuesday for Starward Bound with Emma, our lovely space D&D game. Super, super fun stuff. And if you like vampires, come check me out over on Tales from the Grim on Wednesdays, where I play a recently turned rogue vampire who's a very, very sad girl, making very, very bad life decisions, or unlife decisions, depending on who you ask. So yeah, come catch me over there, and of course, come catch me here for more vampire stuff.
Definitely. What is Al's current short-term goal?
Right. Deal with Project Greenlight. That's what it is. Deal with it somehow.
And Lindy, what was Exes' short-term goal?
It's a good question, Charlie. Probably to continue exploring humanity via make some friendships where she can nom consensually, because she doesn't like to sneak up on people and ambush them in alleys.
Consensual nomming. All right.
Consensual nomming.
Perfect.
And maybe smooches.
And maybe smooches. Well, we'll see. We will see. Emma, how are you and May getting on? And what is your short-term goal?
We're doing great. May's short-term goal is oops. May's short-term goal is to fuck up Jess's dad in whatever way she can. Because she thinks that Julian Walters is a mortal threat, and he's also a capitalist asshole. So it's like two birds with one stone. And to support Al in whatever she's doing, and to help out all of her vampire girls do whatever they want to do to truly be free vampires.
Will she ever tell Jess the origin story?
I hope so.
Well, it won't be next week because you are unfortunately not with us because you are going to, am I allowed to say?
I'm going to PAX East next week. Yeah, me and Jim are going to be there. Super excited about that. I'm the communications director for WebDM. So we're going to be somewhat quiet next week, but we're still going to have, on Tuesday, we're going to have Starward Bound, woo! And I think on Thursday, we're going to maybe have a Land Between Two Rivers, but it's going to be kind of different since we're going to be out of town. I'm not quite sure. It'll be a surprise. The other thing that I'm up to these days is until April the 12th, I'm on Tales from the Mists on the D&D channel. That's being canceled this week because Acquisitions Inc. from PAX is going to be there. But after that, it will be going on. So please tune in. Next show of that is April 5th, which is also my birthday. So it's my birthday wish that you all come. And yes, I love this game. It's so much fun. I'm so excited to be showing you guys a little bit more of May's philosophy. And I love how sweet everybody is, and I love playing somebody who's not sweet in juxtaposition to that. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you all very much, ladies, for your roleplay today. It was amazing. I'm super excited to see where this journey takes us as the pieces of the puzzle all fall into place, and you all keep killing people, which is wonderful. I am at Frost for Fire. Exes never wins. Never. She's white as a marshmallow. I'm at Frost and Fire on the Twitters, no own the from. I do a whole bunch of stuff all the time. I have a pinned tweet which explains that. Not quite as much as Lindy, about as much as Susie, somewhere near Kiana. Playing a lot of games. The next game up on deck for me will be on Tuesday when I'm on Pro Restarter's channel playing Dungeon World. There is no Inquisitor this week, sadly. So that's not happening on Monday. But yes, Tuesday is my next day of gaming. Can't wait for Sunday. We will unfortunately not have Emma with us. And we will also not have our production team, aka Matt, with us as he is buggering off to Disneyland. So the wonderful Lindy will be dealing with our tech next week. So until then, thank you so much for being here and supporting us. If you're watching on the YouTube, please come and check us out live. We'd love to have you in chat. If not, leave us a comment. We enjoy reading those very much. Thank you for supporting WebDM. Don't forget, tabletop loot, WebDM 15% off dice, which are very useful if you like RPG or just if you like collecting shiny things. Yeah, thanks all so much for your tweets. If you do a tweet or have a clip of the show, hashtag New Amsterdam, so I can check those out in a little bit. And that is all from me. So I will see you next week, same time, same place, unless you're in the UK, at which point we go back in the timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly daylight savings time to the correct time. So yes, 2 p.m. Central. See you soon. Bye.